Welcome back everyone to Indochina, Kaiserreich. Now I was thinking of actually waiting for a longer while because we're not really having wars or anything, but there are things that are happening. So as you can see, we elected the syndicalist in the National Assembly. It wasn't that interesting, so I didn't show it. And here is our leader, Tatu Tau. He is a pretty cool person. We have kept mostly the cabinet that we had before, which is a very, very good cabinet, actually. Like, we have basically positives all throughout. And, Social Democrats. Right now, our popularity is medium. It's gonna turn to low if we go down 40 after, you know, we are at 40. So, yeah, I guess we don't have political power anymore. Anyway, we do have another decision. Land reform. This is just so well done. So we have a larger percentage of agricultural land was owned by large landowners, and the majority of the rural population of Indochina owned only small plots of land and was landless. If we can't fix the deep social inequality and rural poverty, then the revolution is just replacing foreign masters with local ones. It's decided that we need a complete land distribution, but the means to end that vary. So we can set up a land bank, which is more of a social democrat thing. It will increase the land reform progress by 5. We actually have a time limit to end the land reform. Encourage the peasants to struggle. The land reform shouldn't be a passive process to our peasants. They should be mobilized to reclaim what is their own right. This is a chance to invoke revolutionary spontaneity, which is going to be good for the anarchists, of course. Or enact the upper limit of land holding. We aren't going to enact that. This is going to increase the land reform progress by 10. Resistance from the landlords. Despite the land holding limit regulation, landlords managed to keep their lands via various formal or informal means. Tenants and poor peasants see little improvement in their life and complain that the government is with the landlords. People are very disappointed. Can I say, well, and that's not good. Need to strengthen the bureaucracy to implement the land reform, or landlordism is the problem. I think we're going to try to get up as much land reform progress as possible. I don't particularly want to do this, encourage the peasants to struggle, though, because that is going to increase the popularity of the bloody nationalists. Oh, no, not the nationalists, actually, the radical socialists. And we don't have the most, like, politically stable cabinet. It's just very good for the bonuses all throughout. So I think we're going to have to sacrifice our popularity, which might go up anyway thanks to our focus tree, because we are going down syndicalist focus tree. Although it doesn't look like it's giving any syndicalism popularity, except if we empower the CGT. Huh, gets the event transformation into a syndicalist country. That might be very, very useful. Although, I mean, this left-wing unity is so good. Look at this. 25% political power gain, plus 25% war support. That is amazing. The problem is we're going to need to have balanced out all these options, which might not be easy, because these bloody social democrats are in the way. But let's encourage the peasants to struggle. That is also going to decrease our weekly stability, of course, because we're kind of encouraging bad things to happen. So this is actually very nice, because in Hearts of Iron 4 and in every mod for Hearts of Iron 4, it's usually not that explored, this kind of aspect. Like, when you're making actual reforms and stuff, it's usually kind of like you click a button and it happens. Just like if everything just fell into place. But that's not the case, actually. So I like that they're, in a way, at least trying to simulate that there's, you know, social and economic change going on around the country. There's processes happening, and you're trying to direct them. Of course, it's just very, very, like, bare bones. No game can really simulate this. But, yeah, it's kind of nice that they're doing this. It's also good that they are putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that there's land reform needed in these East Asian countries. Well, and in a way, just in general, in underdeveloped countries, land reform is one of the main issues of any new government, because, well, it's what most people live for. you know, the land. Also, our industry is starting to grow, which is what I like to see. We have 7 factories now. And once we get unionization, that is going to increase the construction speed even more. Supply and marketing cooperatives are going to increase building slots, and then we get another research slot. Oh, damn it, low popularity. Another research slot from Industrial Enlightenment. And once we have 15 factories, we can take le militant, which increases infantry equipment production. But before we do that, we are probably going to have time to go down some industrial effort. I'm going to take it very, very slow because Siam is, compared to us, very powerful. Like in Kaiserreich, Siam is just incredibly strong. As you can see, they have dozens of divisions. Some of them aren't bad at all. In fact, they have motorized divisions. They have some cavalry divisions, although, I mean, anyone can have those. But they also have marines. Their army is not anything to be laughed at, and they probably have an air force as well. Yeah, a small air force, but they do, and a relatively good navy. I believe they also have a battleship. So we need to be careful. We need to be careful when finding them. Supply and marketing. There we go. We're just going to try to finish the political tree as quickly as we can. Tan Viet activities. The New Viet Revolutionary Party, also known as Tan Viet Party, is organized along the lines of a vanguard party and adhere to the idea of democratic centralism. This means that party members are organized into secret cells and often engage with clandestine activity, which sometimes is regarded as non-democratic and suspicious by other political factions. Some politicians suspect that they are secretly planning to overthrow the government by force. Should we put a limit on their activities on the principle of political openness? You can either say it's their freedom, or say we need to keep an eye on them. I mean... So... now it's time to make a decision. Do we want to empower the CGT, or do we want to take la lutte? Rule by consensus. The problem is I don't know what that transformation to a syndicalist country will entail. I think I'm gonna go for the syndicalist country. Because as much as this is like, okay, 25% political power gain is great. But how much is that gonna be? Like the base value is 1.50. Changed by just a few things. So it's gonna be like 1.70, 1.50 as a whole. It's gonna be around there. So 25% of 1.50 would be 0.30-ish. 0.35 around. Do we need the extra? No, we don't. I'd rather have an event. Although this is just so good, but... yeah, fuck these totalists. I'm suspicious of them. They might be conspiring to overthrow us, or whatever. Even though they're probably not, but let's be paranoid. We're paranoid that we are facing paranoid people. Average popularity, great. Of course, that has pushed us over the edge. I like that. In terms of our... oh, wow, there's also actual music. Well, what the hell? An Arabian music. Interesting. Setups... Social Democrats! I wonder if we're gonna have many more ways of increasing this land reform progress. I mean, probably there will be with events and such and so on. I don't want to set up these land banks, because I don't want social democrats to exist in my country. I don't think anyone wants that. And, yeah. Also, likely every event that we, or rather every focus that we take, might spawn events, because it seems like it's very extensive. Very, very extensive. In terms of the economy, what shall we do? I mean, self-reliance or international division of labor? Adhering to syndicalism, we'd rather go with international division of labor. So with roleplay, quote-unquote, it would be better to do this. What would be the benefit of self-reliance? Well, here, this one, international division, is actually a lot better. But going down, let's see. Let's sum up these bonuses we have. So, in terms of factories, 2 military factories, 2 military factories and 1 civilian. 4 civilian and 2 military. In terms of you, 2 and 3 instead of 2 and 4, but in exchange, here you get rubber, here you get steel. Steel is more useful as a basis, but rubber is just very important as a whole of its own. However, here we also get, okay, so, I mean, International Division of Labor is just better. So what are you getting hit here? Like, it's a little better for research because you get these 2 research bonuses. And here you only get an electronics research bonus. Hold the fort. Requires hydraulic expansion, ambition, or port expansion. Ah, okay, so these ones aren't important. And yeah, this is just so much better because you get that civilian factory construction plus the infrastructure construction. Plus the infrastructure construction. And here what I was thinking is that, yeah, sure, you get 1 civilian factory less with this part of the tree, but you do get construction speed, which is great. So the only thing that's better here is that you get a plus 10% factory output. But do we need that? I'm honestly not sure, because this part of the tree is just better. It gives you this glorious minus 5% consumer goods factories, and it gives you better resources. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, steel is nice. And, yeah, but to be honest, we already have rubber. I didn't expect this to be the case. We already have a lot of rubber. So we're going to get some factories out of that already. And 14 steel might be useful, but see, the point is, once we were very industrialized, 14 steel is going to be nothing. That's going to be enough to run, like, I don't know, it's going to be enough to not have 2 civilian factories trading, and 2 civilian factories is nothing. Because, well, if we take this as 2 civilian factories, well, then this part of the tree is going to give us 1 civilian factory more than this part of the tree, and that's not really that important. But oh well. But oh well. Yeah, as you can see, we're just gonna gather up these civilian factories like nothing else. Alright, a minister supports his ideology, which... Oh, no, go away. Go away, Sockdem's re. Who's the Social Democrat? It's this guy. Nien Tuong Tam. Yeah, like, he's the... Like, how exactly is it possible that only one Social Democrat is managing to have so many events? What options do we have to replace him? Political power gain. That's not a lot of political power, though. Yeah, I'd rather replace him with another cloak and dagger scheme or just not a social democrat. Because if I get some radical socialists, that's fine. Oh, extremism spreading in the countryside. Motivated by the government, many peasants rose up to seize land, means of production, and private possessions from the landlords. Many landlords are humiliated and receive corporal punishment from the peasants. Some prestigious scholar gentries committed suicide. Many intellectuals protest that the government should act to protect law and order. Extremism is better than 1,000 years of feudalism. So that's going to be a little bit of less stability, or we can say that's too much. I mean, the better option is that's too much because you only lose some political power. It's like, eh. But this is just such an awesome quote. And we can seize the means of production because of that. Can we now? Yes. So now we wait until we have some more polypower. And we're going to seize the memes of production, as the internet is so wont to saying. All right. Now we can go down some industrial effort because we have reached the bottleneck of we don't have enough factories to be syndicalist. So let's get some factories. Let's get some factories on the go. And now we can also research like actual rifles and stuff. That seems like a pretty good thing. Downfall instability. Oh well. It's gonna be a little unstable, as I don't remember the exact quote, but there's like a quote from Mao Zedong, you know, the best person in the world, fucking Mao Zedong, which says something like revolutions are not made with roses or whatever. It's like, yeah, revolutions are not tea parties. Stability is going to be effective. That's fine. We're going to overthrow these feudalists. We're going to overthrow the capitalist imperialists and all of that. So it's also good because it's probably giving us a little bit more things to do. Oh, Socialist Republic of Iran. Okay. Good job, comrades. Although they are technically partaking in imperialism by... Oh, well, they've already declared war on Saudi Arabia. That's good for them. So they've partaken in imperialism and now they have betrayed the imperialists. And probably they're going to die. Oh, wow, that's... What happened, Egypt? You've only got 4 divisions. Okay, so Iran actually has a chance. Because the Arabians on the west can only muster 6 divisions between them. That is pathetic. It's the Saudis that have a lot of divisions, and most likely, most of those are cavalry. Because you do get to mobilize the tribes. Have they done that? Yep, they have done the mobilize the tribes, so that's likely just a lot of cavalry. So go Iran, they might be able to spread the glorious light of socialism to the Middle East. In the meantime, Bulgaria is winning the Balkan War? Not sure how this is possible. The Serbian-Bulgarian War. Oh, Romania. Did they capitulate Romania early, or did Romania just not join the Belgrade Pact? I don't think. Australasian Guard. Oh boy. So here comes the National Populist, the Center Party with many quotation marks, and those are the extreme British lovers. That's like you, imperialist puppets. All right. Let's not encourage the peasants to struggle quite yet. We're gonna wait until we can seize the means of production. All right. Liberation Day has passed. We're gonna wait until we can seize the means of production, and yeah, hope that the peasants are gonna do good with the means of production. Also, because that's gonna reduce the popularity of the Social Democrats, which is always a good thing. They were good while we were fighting Germany as allies, but now we need to purge them. All right. So instead of self-reliance, we are going to go with the international, although, I mean, it's only 25 political power. See, I was thinking of getting this because I thought that you get more political power from these focuses, but you actually don't. Don't actually get a lot of political power. That's sad. Oh. Cooperation with Burma. Oh, they kept Burma. And the Maximists kept Burma. That's good. That is good. It's a long way to Tipperary. That's good, so we get an extra focus up here. Well, that's not bad. 21, 21, 21. Let's get these 3. Just in case something might happen to Burma. We're gonna take Rising Dragon. After years of bleak history of colonialism, we will once again assert our importance in the world. The dragon is rising. I love how the Asians like dragons. All right, the first Saigon International Art Festival. The first Saigon International Art Festival was held recently. Due to the influence of our leading intellectuals, the curatorial priorities are the works of the avant-garde artists in syndicalist countries. However, it turned out that our citizens can hardly appreciate these modernist, futurist, and surrealist art. Avant-garde culture seems a little too advanced for a place like Indochina, although that decreases the popularity of the radical socialists instead of the syndicalist. Oh well. Yeah, right, because the radical socialists actually have this modernist culture thing. which is kind of nice because like the Indochinese anarchists are kind of divided between very ruralist and very and sort of city culture slash let's copy France's anarchism. Whereas the syndicalists are just like, let's copy France, because France is good. The totalists are like, let's set up a police state and copy Georgia, but yeah, all right. Peninsular direction. Oh, actually we can take beyond Indochina even without. Oh, okay, that's good. We are still surrounded by unfriendly nations in the Indochinese peninsula. We need to sort them out. The peninsula must be pacified. After all, this is the Indochinese peninsula. And, you know, like, it doesn't really matter all that much. Like, look at this. We still have 70 opinion of the Commune of France. It's like, what is that going to do? Oh, but we need an international revolutionary outpost to have a special relationship with France and to be part of the phalanx there. So this is actually a very, very good bonus of being with the international revolutionary outpost, because the phalanx there will give you a lot of research bonuses. All right, now the time has come to pick between infiltration and mechanized offensive. And the problem is, like, as much as infiltration is a lot more thematic, assault is a lot better, but we're all about roleplay here. So let's go with the infiltration. We are the glorious Indochinese guerrillas. Oh, that's not good. They have joined the co-prosperity sphere. So any fight that's going to break out with Siam is going to involve the bloody co-prosperity sphere. And that's not good. I mean, at least Japan is getting Hokushin-ron, which might distract them with the Russian Empire. And the Russian Empire is definitely getting themselves distracted. Yeah, as I say that, they get themselves even more distracted. They've retaken most of the Caucasus, and now they're going to go after Belarus. They're going after Mongolia. They're going after Finland. They're just declaring war on everyone. That's kind of one of the problems of the paradox Kaiserreich symbiosis, because the Russian AI just wants to declare war on everyone at the same time, and it's not really smart enough to prevent that. Let's get some cooperation with Burma. I wonder what this is going to entail. And wait, who did Japan declare war? Oh, the Russians. That's good. That's good. This is going to not really weaken Siam as much, but they've moved most of their troops away from our borders. So it's actually kind of likely that they've sent their troops back home or something, or not back home, but back to help Japan. And oh, the Germans. I guess they didn't want them meddling in Belarus now, did they? Belarus has been couped by Russia, but yeah, it looks like this is the second Weltkrieg, and the second Weltkrieg has opened because of Russia. That's not something that usually happens. But to be honest, this does not look good for Russia, like at all. Although the Reichspakt countries seem to be mostly neutral. They're only at war with Germany. Like right now, Russia is fighting on 4 fronts. Well, 5. The Far East, Central Asia, Armenia, which is admittedly pretty small, Central Europe, and Northern Europe. So that's very, very bad. Oh, guarantee. So they have guaranteed me. Or did we guarantee them? No, we guaranteed them. They're actually an occupied puppet of the Barafia commune. So, in a way, that means that if anyone fights the Barafia commune, we're involved. I think it does. Challenge Siamese hegemony. I don't think we want to do that yet. We can seize the means of production, though, and we can struggle against the landlords. That is going to be less stability and more war support, which is bad, for 140 days. So that is 20 weeks. So that is 10 stability lost. That's not good. But it will increase the land reform progress, so let's do it. And in the meantime, we're going to train Laotian revolutionaries. No, we're going to do that later. We need to take Division of Labor first. And Yeah, essentially this is like tooling our economy to the needs of the global syndicalist economy. So we should admit that the industrialization of Indochina will take a long time. The international division of labor will strengthen the dynamic of the socialist economies and the solidarity of socialist countries. Committing our economy to the socialist international division of labor will serve the world revolution and benefit our own economy. Damn, this is a mouthful. Which is a long way of saying we should produce what France says that we should produce. That's literally all that it says. And right now, Russia is dying. This can only be bad, though, actually. As much as we don't like Russia, and, yeah, this is going to... Oh, hello, Nikolai Smirnov. Like, this guy is, I think, supposed to be, like, 20 at this point. Exactly... I think this guy is going to become... Well, in our time, I think this guy is an admiral of the Soviet Union. I'm pretty sure. And he's got a mariner's uniform or whatever. Man, it's bad though, because Russia capitulating will free up not only a lot of Japan, like Japan will just grow and grow and grow, which will be bad. Oh, that is a terrible idea, Romania. Like, that is just a terrible idea. That is a terrible idea. That was not what you intended. Anyway, it will strengthen Germany immensely, and it will strengthen Japan as well. Or rather, will prevent Japan weakening immensely. And both of these are bad. Like, they're very bad for us. Also, we can get some artillery going on the Pathet Lao, but they're actually relatively... Wait, can you not? Oh no, you cannot. They're locked. Okay, well, Pathet Lao. Guess you're... Okay, so we can at least equip our main force units. We do have some of these Sudouan Bobin, but let's find them. Sudouan Bobin. So these are like the weaker ones. Yes. Can I give you... Can I make you main force units? Ah, we don't have the manpower. That's sad. So what we're going to do is instead... Can we give them support artillery? Nope, we cannot. Unfortunately, we're still kind of plagued by our, decision to get total mobilization, which was correct in my opinion, because that decreases so many bad things and gives us a very, very superior way of constructing. But yeah, our manpower is very, very much suffering from that. Oh well, we're gonna have to deal with that eventually. Struggle against the landlords. And what's good is that all this is increasing the popularity of the syndicalist party. Yeah, so Finland was, it was pieced out for relatively nothing because, yeah, Russia just needs to piece out as many people as possible. Actually, Armenia, go Armenia, the Dashnaks, really holding it on and managing to push back the Russians. Well, yeah, kind of push back the Russians and surround a lot of them. Of course, yeah, the Germans are storming through Ukraine, and that's probably the end of Russia. It would be right now very good if the Commune decided to go after the German Empire. Like, it would just be so good, because the Germans would actually be caught in a two-front war, which almost never happens in Kaiserreich. And damn, Mongolia is advancing as well. I mean, obviously, Mongolia is just the god of war. Okay. I think we want more construction. There's just so many industry techs that we need to research to catch up. We've already got 10 factories though, so we're growing relatively fast. And I hope that we're going to outstrip Siam in terms of industry one day. Which should be pretty soon. Damn it. I wish I was at war as well, so that I can increase my conscription. Oh well. Because I could just take this focus. You know, 20 more days, and we'd be mobilized and stuff. Wait, we lost a factory. What the hell? Second Melbourne uprising? The hell is happening? These reactionaries are really pissing me off. Anzac Spirit. The fall of Petrograd. And the fall of Romania. Who could have thunk it? Who could have thunk that the bloody Danubian Federation would beat Romania 1v1? Also, looks like Serbia got puppeted by Bulgaria. Glorious. And yeah, now Albania is also the bitch of Bulgaria. Greece is also the bitch of Bulgaria. That's just what you'd expect. Okay. Rice and rubber. Blessed with the Red River and the Mekong River, Indochina has a great agricultural potential. We decided to focus on modernizing our agriculture as the way to improve our people's life and serve the Internationale. This one... Ooh. Express de la Réunification. Damn, that is a lot. That is a lot of stuff in both Cambodia and Laos. But we don't own them. Oh, we do own Laos, actually. Which is good. Developed Laos, though, is not as good. It's only one civilian factory. Like, look at this. One civilian factory, free infrastructure, 12 rubber, 4 factory slots. Thank you. This one gives us the aluminium in Tonkin up here with hydroelectric power dams that we can construct up here, which in real life I believe were constructed by the Soviets. And yeah, I think we're gonna go with civilian factories first. Also because that rubber is going to be very, very, I hope, good on the market. Yes, the market. Capitalism. I hope that many people buy our rubber, because that is going to give us some juicy, juicy factories. And actually, yeah, we're also exporting a lot of tungsten, which is great that we have tungsten, by the way. Oh boy, something's slowing down the game, and it's likely, you know, this. Okay, good, I am doing that. I want to go with the new rifle as quickly as possible. And then I'll upgrade my mortars and such. Of course, the most important things for your army are actual doctrines and not equipment. So we're pretty good on that. And I think I'm going to end the episode for now. We have managed to get an economy, first and foremost. We have checked out some of these glorious new things that you can do. And yeah, hopefully next time when we begin, we're going to be a little bit more ready to finish this part of the focus tree. And there we go, Second Weltkrieg. So what a better time to end it now, and hopefully we might even be able to support the International as they supported us. So yes, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, I'll see you soon, and have a good day.